If you're unpaid for work or materials on a construction job in California, then filing a mechanics lien may be exactly the help you need. A mechanics lien is very powerful, but they have plenty of requirements that must be met, and any small mistake can invalidate your lien. So in this video series, we'll walk you through the 3 steps you need to take to properly file a mechanics lien in California. Now let's start with step 1, preparing a California Mechanics Lien form. The mechanics lien is simply a piece of paper containing certain information that's filed with a government office. Preparing the lien form might sound simple, but there are many traps for those who are new to filing a mechanics lien in California. It's always important that you get the right mechanics lien form and that it's formatted correctly and that it contains the right information. One common mechanics lien mistake is to start with the wrong form. Make sure you get your form from a reputable source. Once you have the right mechanics lien form, then let's talk about the lien content. California has specific requirements of what must be included in the claim. Failure to include a required piece of information can result in an invalid lien. So generally, you should make sure to include correct lien amount, name of property owner, description of the labor or materials provided, name of customer, property description, your information, and the required statutory language. So let's talk about each of these elements in detail. Your mechanics lien claim must identify how much you are claiming against the property. But keep in mind that just because you're owed money doesn't mean you can include it all in your lien. Generally speaking, you have the right to file a California mechanics lien for the amount equal to the value of the work that's furnished to the job. Other amounts, such as attorney's fees, may all be owed to you, and you can sue for them later, but don't put them in your lien amount. Doing so will put your entire claim at risk. Next, you'll want to include the correct name of the property owner. Although that might sound straightforward, there are situations that can make this difficult. So if you're working on a job that's commissioned by a tenant, you may wonder whether to identify the property owner or the tenant. So the answer is identify both. If there are multiple joint owners, you'll want to identify all of them. In any case, feel free to drop a question on our Expert Center at levelset.com for more information and resources. You'll also need to include a general statement briefly describing the work or materials that you provided to the job that's the basis of the lien claim. Some counties, like Los Angeles, can reject liens if the description isn't detailed enough. The difficult thing here is to figure out the level of detail required in this statement. So generally, you'll want to provide the readers with some sense of your contribution to the job. The next thing you want to do is to identify who hired you. According to the California lien statute, you need to provide your customer's legal name, address, and telephone number. If you were hired by the property owner, then you'll have the owner listed twice, once as your customer and a second time as the owner. California's mechanics lien laws require a description of the site sufficient for identification. A legal property description will make sure that you meet the sufficiency requirement, but a simple physical address could very well meet the requirement too. Now, if you need help researching the legal property description of a property, you can always check out articles on levelset.com for relevant resources. The next thing to include is your name and address as required by California lien law. This is an easy one, so don't mess it up. Remember to use your company's legal name. Liens can be and have been challenged because companies misidentify themselves. Don't make the same mistake. The last element to include is the required statutory statement. California statute even specifies that the statement must be in at least 10-point boldface type and that some text must be uppercase. So here's the text as it should appear on your lien form. Make sure your lien form has this text. Finally, you must sign your mechanics lien claim and verify it by signing it under a verification statement, which is a statement whereby you verify the facts alleged to be true. It's important to note that a verification requirement is not the same as a notarization requirement. A verification is simply a statement by the claimant verifying that the matters within the claim are true and correct. Now, a notarization or acknowledgement, on the other hand, is not a verification of the facts, but instead an acknowledgement as to the signature on the document. So in other words, it proves that the signatures are the actual signatures of the claimant. That's it. Once you get through these 8 sub-steps, you'll have a completed mechanics lien form ready to go. But you're not done yet. Watch the next video in the series to find out steps 2 and 3.